Dad, I'm getting married. After 3 years of hiding my relationship with Liam, I was finally ready to lay everything bare. I stepped outside and saw the hickeys scattered across Liam's neck. And behind him, a sultry woman followed. President Vance is getting married, yet you're still insatiable? Could it be that your little sister at home isn't satisfying you? She's still young, no rush. The booth erupted in whistles and laughter. Liam, damn, you really don't know how to go easy on a girl. Aren't you afraid your little sis will cry her eyes out? Liam smiled darkly. As her nominal Liam, I'm just teaching her first lesson about society. I numbly wiped the tears from my face. My dad was still pressing on the other end of the line. So who do you want to marry? Anyone'll do, just pick for me. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and comment below to tell us where you're listening from. The Montgomerys are open to an alliance. I answered without thinking, then let it be them. This time, it was my dad who fell silent. Don't be ridiculous. The Montgomery engagement was arranged 3 years ago. I accept. Over these 3 years, it had been brought up countless times, and every time I'd refused. No one expected that I would agree to the marriage just as they were about to give up. I knocked on the door, everyone looked over. Liam reached me in 2 quick strides. His 2 broad palms cupped my ears. Are you cold? I shook my head. Isn't Liam going home yet? More hoots filled the room. These past 3 years, everyone here had seen my relationship with Liam. Yet it remained a membrane no one dared pierce, a fact no one voiced. Let's call it a night. I'll head back first. Just as we were about to leave, a voice rang out at the worst possible moment. Liam. It was the woman from earlier. Liam's face darkened instantly, his eyes warning. You forgot your jacket. She offered it with a radiant smile. Only then did Liam's expression ease. Street. Ill, when she handed it over, her fingers brushed his knuckles, apparently by accident. That careless graze strung every nerve in his body tight. It seemed he enjoyed the move, immensely. I could see the excitement in his eyes, but I didn't call him on it. In the car the driver drove, Liam and I sat in the back. He was tall, strikingly handsome, his manner mild. He and my father were battle buddies. After graduation I should have gone home. But for him, I stayed 3 extra years. Liam, when are we getting married? Liam's eyes snapped open, panic shooting toward the driver. I ignored his silent signals. I pushed on. When? He was afraid. Relenting, he pulled me into his arms. Are you drunk? I didn't answer, just stayed there, and smelled another woman's perfume on him. I bit my lip hard, blinking tears away again and again. Once home, I sagged against the bed. Liam leaned in, hugging my shoulders, kissing me. Liam was wrong, don't be mad. There were outsiders earlier. Be good, Ava, don't be angry. He slipped my hand beneath his shirt. Normally that would make me smile. But tonight I couldn't, no matter how hard I tried. I persisted. There's no outsider now. Liam raised an eyebrow. What? I knew he was feigning ignorance. After repeated questions, the answer was obvious. His phone buzzed nonstop. He kissed me, then lowered his gaze to the screen. He deliberately turned away, but the glass behind him reflected everything in the dark. A photo of a woman. Kneeling, blouse gaping open. A chain tied across deep cleavage. One photo was all it took to make him burn. Looks like I never really knew Liam. He left with the phone. My father's call came in right then. So the Montgomery match is set? Set. No backing out? No. After a pause my dad replied, in 7 days I'll have Liam bring you home. Not needed. I don't want to trouble him. This engagement was supposed to be for both of us. But now it was clear Liam didn't need marriage. He didn't need me. 3 years of love, tainted beyond repair. When Liam came back, he'd showered. Judging by the chill, a cold one. He pulled me close and ice seeped into me. I shoved him away. The images flashed again and I felt sick. What's wrong? Cold? My fault, I was careless. He wrapped me in a blanket, apology thick in his voice. He tugged the blanket so hard his towel slipped 2 inches. Red scratches curved over his hip bone. The glaring marks slammed against every defense I had. I inhaled slowly and turned my gaze aside. The doorbell rang. I moved to answer. Liam pressed me to the bed. It's cold out, I'll go. About 10 minutes later he was back. The neighbor's water's off, she needed to shower here. I nodded, saying nothing. But the spark in Liam's eyes said the neighbor wasn't just that. By the way, your brother called, said you're leaving? Why won't you let me drive you? I gave a bitter smile. He didn't even ask why I was going. I have time right now, I can take you. I crawled under the covers, afraid I'd break down the next second. Liam said nothing. About 2 hours passed. He tested my name twice. When I didn't answer, he tiptoed out. I sat up, every organ aching inside me. I stood at the rail on the second-floor landing and watched Liam step into a guest room below. President Vance misses me that much? Shut up. The woman's voice grew louder. So tell me, am I better, or is Ava? Ava's better. Liam didn't hesitate for a second, yet the woman was far from satisfied. President Vance, that's not the truth. I didn't want to see Liam like this. I didn't want to face a love so sordid. Back in my room, it felt as if I were walking on cotton. I collapsed by the door, headphones on, tablet clutched to my chest. Even I hadn't seen it coming, me, who'd always slept like a log, spending the whole night gaming in my room. And the one outside the door did the same. When Liam finally returned, he slipped the headphones off my ears. Addicted to screens at the crack of dawn? I dropped the phone. Liam pulled the curtains open. The man who once knew me better than anyone had forgotten I never wake this early. He didn't even notice how strange I was acting. Men always get clingy after they've cheated, Liam was no exception. He curled into my arms, breathing slow and heavy. A noise came from the corridor. Liam's whole body flinched. He pressed me back down before I could rise. He offered no explanation, I asked no questions. Anyway, I was about to marry someone else. Liam, I don't want you anymore. By the way, I have a business trip. When I'm back, I'll drive you. He was gone a full week. He reported in every moment, now a shot of the executive car, now his office, now the break room. What he didn't know, someone named Serena was texting me too. She sent several intimate photos of the two of them. I calmly locked the phone. Lesson 1, as Liam once called it, learned. But Liam, from this moment on, we are nothing. Your hollow lies, I'm done listening. Sterling, your package. I didn't order anything. Sterling, looks like it's from Northport. Northport? I signed for it. Dad's call came right after. Ava, did the red cheapao arrive? By Montgomery Wedding Custom, you'll wear the traditional bridal dress tomorrow when you get in the car. I had it tailored and express shipped. Got it, Dad. I'll be waiting in Northport. Okay. I'd barely hung up when Liam wrapped his arms around me from behind. Who were you talking to? I stepped away, uneasy. My father. Once you're home, I'll finish up the project here and come to Northport. Won't be long, I'll be back before your birthday. Then, I'll talk to Victor. No matter when, Liam's words always surprise me. Only this time, I doubt I'll feel any joy. You bought a cheapao? I've never seen you in one, try it for me? I shook my head and put the box away. Tomorrow. Fine. Whenever you wear it for me, it'll be perfect. He didn't know, tomorrow I would wear it, but not for him. Or my future husband, Chase. That night I woke from a nightmare. After a drink of water I heard Liam on the phone in the hallway. Only when I neared the door did I catch his words. Cancel every project, tomorrow is all about Ava. Doesn't matter, nothing is more important than Ava. Go make it happen. My feelings were a mess. I sat on the sofa inside the doorway, listening to him pace. Finally he tapped on my door. Ava. Asleep? He couldn't sleep, neither could I. I stood on my side, hand reaching for the knob several times, then falling back. I knew he hadn't left. I almost opened, until a woman's gentle voice drifted in. Your niece is sleeping, let her rest. My hand slipped from the handle, shamefaced. He'd brought her back again. I curled up on the couch until the alarm rang the next morning. When I stepped out with my suitcase, Liam appeared at the same moment. He blocked the doorway so I couldn't see inside. Still, I glimpsed the woman in his bed. Whatever. I was going home to marry someone else. Liam climbed in beside me when the car door opened. We rode in silence all the way. Near Northport he grew restless. The privacy screen rose. He cupped the back of my head and leaned in to kiss me. I turned away. I pressed a hand to his chest and pushed him back. Liam, we're here. I moved to exit, but he caught my arm. The look in his eyes was driving me insane. I feared I'd lose control and run off with him. Let's get out. He stepped out on his side. Instead of using my door, I slid out after him. Mom, Dad, and the Montgomerys were waving from afar. Why the sudden return to Northport? I lifted my head, eyes stinging. Because you wouldn't marry me. My answer caught him off guard. You know Victor's temper. Next year. I'll speak to him. He tucked stray hair behind my ear. So later, don't let Victor notice anything, all right? So what had I been hoping for? I gave a low, bitter laugh. You drove me back yourself, not to make me happy, but to perform for my father. Is that it? That red cheapao looks beautiful on you. Always the same, questions he dislikes simply go unanswered. Victor. I turned, they had reached us. Mom and Dad beamed. Ava. Dad, Mom. After the pleasantries, the Montgomery motorcade rolled in. Chase stepped out in a crimson brocade jacket, a fiery bouquet of roses cradled in his arms. Uncle, Aunt. Ah, Chase is here. Chase turned to Liam. Liam. Liam gave a curt nod, his face unreadable. Once every greeting was finished, Chase looked back at my father. Uncle, I'll take Ava to the Montgomery estate now. Good, good. I followed Chase toward the car, but before I could climb in, an arm seized mine. Big brother, what is this? Liam stared at my father, desperation cracking his voice. Dad blinked, startled. Ava's engaged to the Montgomerys. Didn't she tell you? Liam spun around, eyes locking on me. They were bloodshot. Every scrap of the cool authority he'd worn moments earlier crumbled. He said nothing, yet his gaze screamed. Why? Mom sensed the storm. Child, how could you keep something this big from Liam? I tried to get into the car, but Liam's grip stayed fast. So tight my wrist felt ready to snap. Mom moved to soothe Chase. She grew up at Liam's side. Not telling him about the wedding, let them speak privately for a moment. Chase gave a gentleman's nod. Of course, no problem. He threw me an encouraging look. Yet no one asked if I actually wanted to talk. I meant to refuse, but Liam was already striding toward the far side of a stone pillar. His back was rigid. He left me no space to say no. He pulled me a long way, neither of us broke the silence. Walking, I didn't notice when he stopped. I collided hard with his back. Liam turned, sunlight behind him, eyes glacial. Why? He pinned my wrists. You never said you were marrying into the Montgomery family. If I'd known you came home for an alliance, I'd never have let you return. I numbly shook him off. But you never asked why I came back. The tea froze him. Then what about me? I had never seen Liam look so broken yet so desperate. He lifted his eyes toward my parents' distant figures. Sunlight caught the shimmer of tears at the corners of his eyes. A flash of defiance. I'm going to speak to your father right now. He started away with single-minded purpose. I caught him and slapped him across the face. Ava. His gaze was a tangle of fury and hurt. He clearly disapproved of my boldness. Then, resolute again, he turned back. Neighbor. Hearing my old nickname, he slowed. The night I stayed over. He looked back, panic flickering. But I said the words he feared most. I never slept. The sun spilled past him onto my face. It should have felt warm, yet I couldn't stop shaking. I shifted course, voice quavering. But Liam can rest easy. My father will never know a thing. He won't hear even a whisper. And this union won't be called off. Liam, you'll remain the beloved Liam of the Sterling family. I thought I heard him speak. The wind roared too loud to tell. I walked back toward my parents one step at a time. Chase strode over and scooped me into his arms with a light lift. He was built like Liam. The temperaments, though, were opposite. His scent was softer, almost calming. Exhausted, or perhaps finally unburdened, I let my head rest on his shoulder and drifted off. Is Ava still asleep? Wake her, we're almost out of time. Let her rest. No rush. But in my drowsy haze I recognized Mom's voice. When I pushed myself upright, 2 makeup artists stood at the bedside. Sterling is awake. Sterling, shall we do your makeup? The auspicious hour is near. I nodded, half conscious. The Montgomery ceremony would be in the afternoon. Sunset was the chosen moment. I'd slept the whole day away. Mom had almost feared I'd run. I joked, I don't even have a boyfriend, where could I run? I thought she'd laugh. Instead her face dimmed, she opened her mouth, then let it go. I didn't press. The hour was upon us. When I slip into the wedding gown, my hand shook uncontrollably. I couldn't tell if it was dread or just nerves. I threw up 3 times before I left the room. Before stepping into the car I looked around. Where's Dad? He'd insisted on escorting me. Now he was nowhere in sight. Mom hesitated, worry clouding her eyes. He's waiting for you over there. All right. Yet even at the venue I still didn't see him. Chase bent to help me from the car. He leaned in, blocking the light. The corners of his eyes were smiling. Come. I placed my hand in his. Mom beamed beside us. Camera flashes exploded like strobe lights. Chase moved to shield me, angling his body to block every lens. Reason told me he was educated, steady, sincere. He suited me, and he suited the Sterling's needs. But instinct bristled at his closeness. Though we're still new to each other, I promise complete fidelity in this marriage. We turned together, already mounting the stage. His vow felt secondary. After all, I had once believed in love too. Still, I smiled brightly. I believe. As Chase lifted the ring, I spotted Liam's assistant below the platform, covered in blood. He looked a wreck. It seemed he had come for me, but the bodyguards already had him blocked. Sterling, please go see Liam? If you don't, Liam's going to be. A guard clamped a hand over his mouth. He was hauled away by force. His eyes begged me for help. The hall was noisy. Yet anything about Liam always reached my ears with perfect clarity. I glanced at Liam's other brothers. They sat below the stage, every face weighed down by worry. The MC began with a smile, then let the ceremony officially begin. May the new, I cut in, badly timed, has my father arrived? The MC kept smiling, not yet, but, my father isn't here and the ceremony starts anyway? Everyone turned grave, yet no one would tell me where Dad had gone. Chase looked toward his assistant in the crowd. Invite Sterling again. Yes, sir. The man was about to dash out when a solemn voice rang beyond the doors. No need. I'm here. Everyone in the room snapped to their feet at once. Dad raised a hand and they sank back into their seats. He beamed and stroked my hair. Ava, Daddy's late. The music swelled anew. Dad turned to step down, but I caught his hand. Dad. He looked back. What is it, Ava? Where's Liam? A flicker crossed Dad's eyes. Still smiling, he patted my head. He doesn't matter. MC. The MC hurried over, all deference. Begin. Yes, sir. I wasn't so childish as to make a scene at my own wedding. Every rite unfolded, near flawless. When Chase escorted me off stage to change, he bent to my ear. Liam's done a lot for the Sterlings. Your father won't shoot the horse after the ride, just teach it a lesson. Nothing serious, relax. I shot him a startled look. He lifted a brow. Honestly, relax. Someone came for Chase behind us. He squeezed my shoulder. Go change. I'll fetch you for the toasts. I followed the makeup artist into the dressing room. What stunned me wasn't Liam's plight. It was that Chase knew, and could still speak so gently to me about it. I slipped out of my toast dress and stared at my phone. After a moment's hesitation I rang Liam. Several calls, none answered. A knock sounded at the door. Ava, ready? Coming. I set the phone down and stepped out. Chase led me to the tables. Ava. The voice made me freeze. Every guard shifted restively. Chase lifted a hand and they fell back. But they stayed poised, eyes fixed on the man behind me. I turned. The sight jolted me. His white shirt was splashed with blood. Dried blood at the corner of his mouth had been wiped, leaving a pale red stain. You came. He coughed twice, face bloodless. Blood flecked the hair across his forehead. It's your wedding. How could I not come? He leaned on a nearby chair, searching for a glass. His closest friends rose and ringed him. One pressed a goblet into his hand. When he lifted it toward me his fingers shook so hard the wine spilled. Panic flashed in his eyes. Another friend refilled the glass at once. He gave a thin smile and drained it. Chase drank with him. I stood unmoving. Who's that? He barges in covered in blood. How tasteless. Where were the bodyguards? Shoo, keep your voice down. That's Liam from the Sterlings. What happened to him? Mind your own plate and stop prying. Liam stared at the empty glass, bitter. So, here I am. Sorry, I was afraid I'd be too late. I still wanted to see you in your wedding gown. The glass slipped, shattered on the floor. Looking at my red dress, his voice cracked. But I still missed it. He lifted his head, his eyes were red, icy. Tears slid down the bridge of his nose. Realizing he'd broken, he scrubbed them away and forced a laugh. Happy wedding, Ava. Thank you, Liam. Dad flicked a glance at Richard. Richard threaded through the guests and took Liam's arm. Third brother, let's go. I knew my father's temper. Once Liam left this hall, he'd never see Northport again. I turned. Richard. Richard paused, Liam in his grip, and looked back. All Liam's brothers swiveled toward me, eyes rimmed red. Dad rose as well. Ava. Liam's here, shouldn't he stay for a few drinks? Richard smiled. Ava, Liam's flight's at 8. He'll miss it. I stepped forward. Let him speak for himself. Mom stood quickly, tugging me low. Chase is watching. Don't make a scene. Just then Chase spoke. Since both uncles are here, why not dine together? Richard's gaze flicked to Dad. I turned as well. Looked straight at him. We'd cornered them. Dad, it's time for my toast to you. Dad's temper was short. Mine wasn't any better. Dad jerked his chin. What are you all standing for? Sit. He lifted a tumbler of baijiu and downed it in one. Liam Saturday. I booked Liam on a flight 7 days from now. At that, every head swung to me. Then snapped back to Dad. Richard chuckled. Ava, you don't have Liam's ID number. Richard will handle it, alright? I have his ID. Tioch. EY were about to say something else when I slapped down my chopsticks. He's in this state, and you still want him dying on a plane? The wedding is over, I can't run away from it. For a moment no one spoke. Only Dad kept his head down, chewing beef. He wiped his mouth and looked at me beside him. Don't embarrass the Montgomerys, every one of them is here. Chase picked up his wine. I'll go check on their table. Then he made a flawless exit. Dad, you know better than I do, our families are allied by marriage. The only thing involved is profit. Do you really think the Montgomerys care about any of this? They got the news faster than you. What they care about is the Sterling family's power. I agreed to this union, and I won't go back on it. Dad went silent. Eat. I stared fixedly at Liam across the table. You don't love him, do you? Dad's face darkened, his hand pressing the table's edge. I immediately covered his hand. 1 second later and Dad would have flipped the table. Since we're saying everything tonight, I might as well speak plainly. Liam, you saw it, Dad can't bear to hurt you. If he really wanted you dead, you wouldn't be standing here. The Sterlings have only one daughter. If I truly wished, I could make you the acknowledged son-in-law. I don't love Chase, and I won't be with you. While your wounds heal, I won't visit. Once they're healed, don't come back to Northport. From now on you're Liam, only ever my Liam. You didn't lose to Chase, you lost to cowardice. I patted Dad's shoulder. Dad, don't worry, the Montgomerys' partnership with us won't break. I can fake a marriage well enough. Liam's voice shook with every word. Can you fake it for a lifetime? I laughed. Liam, my acting is far better than yours. I raised my glass and stood. Everyone seated here is my elder by blood, and Ava thanks her uncles and aunts for honoring us tonight. I hope you'll show my Chase every kindness in the future. With that, I tilted my head and drained the glass. At the same moment Chase glanced over. Urged on by his parents, he hurried back. He downed a glass alongside me. Ah, Ava, of course, we're all family now. Sweet girl, go easy on the wine. Chase looked down at me. You okay? I shook my head. I let you see a circus today. From now on, if you need anything, just ask. If I can't deliver, Dad probably can. I patted Dad's shoulder. Right? My words had stirred him. His eyes were faintly red. Right. Chase and I worked the room for both families. The day had been exhausting. The moment we got home, I fell into a heavy sleep. On the 7th day, when we returned for the customary bride's home visit, the entire Sterling household was seeing Liam off. When he saw me, he froze. I slid past his gaze and went inside to find Mom and Dad. Oh, the princess is back. Come, son-in-law, sit. Chase and I served tea to each elder in turn. When we reached Liam, I smiled gently. Liam, your flight's tonight? I won't see you off, I'll be at the evening banquet. He hesitated. All right. Anyone watching would have found my performance flawless. But that night my heart spasmed again and again. Liam was the man I'd loved since childhood. Pretending not to care was impossible. Every night the pain left me shaking head to toe, yet I dared not make a sound. Everyone believed Chase and I were growing closer. Only I knew how wretched the nights were. After a year of torment, I slipped off to the hospital alone. Your depression is severe, you need medication. You're upbeat by day, all sunshine in front of others, but when you're alone, especially at night, you lose control of every dark feeling, isn't that right? I snatched the consultation slip back. Doctor, you're mistaken. I'm fine now. She studied me with something like pity. Then why did you come to me? I stared at her in silence, then slowly turned my gaze to the window. I don't know how long I looked. Doctor, today's my wedding anniversary. I'm very happy. When I okayed back, the corners of her eyes were red. I wish you happiness. I decided she was a sensitive soul. Same to you. I took my bag and walked out. The moment I left the hospital, Chase leapt from the car. What is it? Are you sick? Mom climbed out too. How did you guys know? Oh, the moment Chase heard you'd gone to the hospital he dropped everything and dragged me here, scared out of his mind. I laughed and pinched his cheek. Relax, I'm fine. I pulled the report from my purse. I'm pregnant. Really? Chase swept me up, spinning me round and round. I'm going to be a dad. Ha ha ha. Mom, did you hear? Ha ha. I laughed along with them. The psychological evaluation stayed clutched tight in my hand. As they called everyone with the good news, hey, Victor, your daughter's expecting. Hey, Richard. Hey, Lee, I slipped the paper into a trash can. It felt as though I'd thrown away myself as well. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you liked it, please like and share with friends. We look forward to your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more wonderful stories. See you next time.